Ben and I had been married for 1 year, 4 months, and 2 days.
Newlyweds.
So he had a very kind heart, just a very, very good person.
'Cause you got me, and baby, I got you.
A karaoke couple.
Hey,
And their song,
I got you, baby.
We both just loved
I got you.
karaoke and having fun.
I got you, baby.
It creeped me out.
I got you, baby.
And when I saw my stalker in the crowd, I realized that night that he was stalking me.
This is a truly senseless act of violence, and it was extremely dangerous.
Ben was murdered right in front of me by a man who was stalking me. Ben was shot 7 times in the middle of a busy restaurant in front of 50 witnesses and security cameras.
Metro Police charged Hank Wise with first-degree murder. Defense attorneys argued Wise, a karaoke customer, was delusional, psychotic, and obsessed with Nikki. Ultimately, the courts convicted him of second-degree murder.
I had worked really hard to get to a place where my life could be somewhat normal again.
Then a phone call revealed these.
It makes me want to throw up.
Years worth of cards and letters saying things like, "I will always love you," all piling up at her former attorney's office.
It's hard to explain the kind of shock. It was trauma on top of trauma. I've already dealt with the trauma of losing my husband and witnessing his murder. But to see those letters, it made me almost feel like the night that Ben was, the night that Ben was killed. Yeah, it's traumatic. You can feel your heartbeat in your head. You can't breathe.
Nikki reached out to Wise's prison warden, the Department of Corrections, the U.S. Attorney, the U.S. Postal Inspector's Office. She says she was told in Tennessee there's no such thing as a lifelong order of protection. Her statute of limitations had run out, and she was told the letters did not contain threats.
The letters are the threat. He should be punished for this. This is absolutely unacceptable.
The courts originally sentenced Wise to 23 years to serve at 100% with no parole. And yet, Wise is getting out 3.5 years early for good behavior.
This is not good behavior. This is a crime. He's using the U.S. Postal Service to send letters to stalk and harass me, as if I haven't been through enough. This man is just trying to terrify me even more.
On top of extra time for Wise, Nikki wants a law creating lifelong restraining orders for victims of extreme violence.
If he's willing to do this while he's in prison, what is he going to do when he's released? I have nightmares about the threat that he poses to me and my loved ones, and it's horrifying. Do something now about this. Do something now.
We spoke to Wise's defense attorney. Ultimately, she decided not to comment. I also wrote a letter to Wise in prison. That was weeks ago, but so far, no response. Additionally, we reached out to state lawmaker William Lamberth. After hearing Nikki's story, he says he does support the idea of a lifelong order of protection for victims of extreme violence, and he says he'll consider proposing a new law next legislative session. Carly Gordon, News 4 Nashville.
Terrifying story, Carly. Thank you. Meanwhile, the Department of Corrections released a statement saying they, quote, reviewed the complaint and determined that the letters in question were not sent directly to Mrs. Gozer, and at least 2 years had lapsed before any notice was given to TDOC, unquote. They say they are willing to cooperate with any agency who needs help prosecuting crimes.